Hi there, welcome to Tony Fox Tarot. Thanks for joining me today and great to have you with me. Today we are looking at messages from the other side, from past loved ones, and we're going to break the reading down by having a look to see who this person is, specifically what's your relationship to this person, what made them tick as an individual. We'll identify important characteristics and understandings as to who it is that they are and of your experience with them. What is their message today? Is it one of forgiveness? Is it one of guidance? Is it one of comfort? Is it one of validation? Lots to get into. And before we get started, if you want to go down below and hit subscribe, tap on the bell icon. That'll give you notifications for any future readings that I post. Please like and share this video where you can. And if you are interested in the services that I offer as a psychic tarot reader, you can go to www.tonyfoxtarot.com. There's plenty of information about who it is that I am, what it is that I do, and how it is you can access my service as a psychic tarot reader. Before you on the screen, we've got 4 different cards to choose from. The idea is to choose a card that resonates with you really clearly. And once you've made that choice, that will be your reading. It's fine to choose more than one card if it comes through really strongly for you today. And remember, this is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave behind anything that doesn't. We've got card 1, 2, 3, and 4. Taking a moment to be with the cards, drawing in a nice deep breath. And as you release the breath, listening to your intuition, your inner voice, and the energy of the cards. Which of these comes through for you the strongest today? Is it card 1, 2, 3, or 4? Down below, there are 4 different timestamps representing each of these different cards. If you'd like to go to the one that you've chosen, I will see you in a moment. Everyone, welcome to card number 1. This is your reading and we're looking at messages from the other side, from loved ones. So let's jump in and have a look and see who we've got. I'm here with the Lovers and the Ten of Swords. I feel like this person passed in a really tragic way. A tragic set of events. I feel like something's happened around this person that has led them to some demise. I felt for some of you that this person's life could have been taken in a really untoward way. I wondered whether that meant that there was some kind of maliciousness involved towards this person. I don't feel like it was kind of like I don't know what I mean to say normal death, but I don't feel this person died of natural causes. I don't feel this person died in a way that was to do of sickness. I feel like something happened to this person that had a bit of a twist in it. I felt that left everybody very devastated and it made it really difficult to get over what had happened to them. I feel like it's taken a long time for a lot of people who knew this person to come to terms with what it is that had happened and for the passing of them. I feel like now things feel better though. I feel like it's been some time. I feel like there's some time that has passed by. And now I feel things are becoming brighter. Now I kind of feel like you're starting to come to terms with it. Maybe you're starting to think about getting over it in a way where there's a little bit of distance. But it's not easy, and I feel that it's very easy to kind of go back into that experience of what it is that happened and to feel a sense of betrayal, to feel a sense of devastation. And I felt this was somebody's lover, somebody who you loved very passionately. It was a very shared experience between the two of you. I don't feel like this was an easy relationship. I feel there's a lot of drama in this relationship, very up and down, lots of challenging situations that made it dynamic, passionate. But I felt the relationship between the both of you was dramatic, but also that there were a lot of dramatic events that were around you as well. It always seemed like there was something happening that made this very difficult, very challenging. I felt towards the end, things had actually become a lot better and things were starting to clear, and it felt like there was a really promising future and that you would be free of things that inhibited the both of you being together in a way that was just a lot more positive. I felt that this person as an individual had failed you more than once. They couldn't help themselves at times, and I felt that they failed you within the relationship, that they had let you down, and that this had been maybe a repeating theme, or at least it had happened a number of times in a way where it was really big. And I feel like this person's saying, I just couldn't help myself. It is who I was. It is who it is that I was. They came with plenty of baggage. I really feel like that with this person. I feel like they were incredibly loving. They were emotionally present, and they were very passionate, but at the same time, they had a load of baggage. Like they were a difficult person, but there's something about them that just makes it all worth it. I feel like this is somebody who really lived life to the fullest, that they gave an enormous amount. But things could be very love-hate with them. One moment it's all amazing, and the next minute it's like, it's the opposite. It's up, it's down, it's sideways. Half the time you don't know where things are going. It feels a bit chaotic, actually. And again, very dramatic. Like, there's a lot of drama with this person. This person's got a big personality. But again, I felt that when this person passed, things were getting a lot better in a way where I feel maybe they'd grown up a little bit, or things had stabilized in their life in a way. And it just felt like, you were heading into a period where the both of you felt like this was actually going to be a really good phase in your lives. I felt like you were really close together when this person passed. I felt this is something that was really devastating in terms of losing somebody who was very close to you in a very tragic way. The Magician and the Five of Swords. This person could be aggressive, very pushy. I think that if they had it in for you, it was pretty full on, that they knew how to pack a punch. They knew how to get a rise out of you. They knew how to stir the pot in a way that made it difficult to avoid what they were all about. I think they made a lot of friends. I feel that here with the Magician. I feel like this is somebody who's really out there, very articulate and very sure of themselves. And there was no excuses as to who it is that they were. Like it's like, love me or leave me. Like it or lump it. And I felt that they had a lot of friends, but they also had a lot of enemies. I felt this is somebody, if you're on the right side of them, like you're a friend for life. They do absolutely anything for you. But if you were on the wrong side of them, if you did wrong by them, you were an enemy for life. And watch out, because they would be motivated to take it out on you in a way where they would never let you forget. Unforgiving, I feel. This person, it was kind of black and white. It was either all good or it was all bad. And if it was all bad, watch out, because this person could really, I think, bring you down in some ways. I think they were quite motivated on some levels. I get a showman, a performer, somebody who loved the limelight, who liked a lot of attention. Again, the drama is there for me. Like I feel like this is somebody who takes center stage. Their big personality fills up a room. Everybody's looking at them, and they soaked it up. It's kind of, it's very needy on some levels, but it's needy in a way where you don't mind giving to it because you get so much back. It's not one-sided. But they could give as they could give as good as they could get. And again, if you're on the wrong side of them, they would give you hell. I feel like there's a lot of jealous people around this person, a lot of envy for me here. Because this person liked a lot of attention, got a lot of attention. There's something about them that just, for me, with all of these cards, that just says that this is somebody who was either really good looking or had some very strong presence physically. If it wasn't that, it was definitely the energy, the personality, big personality. So you couldn't miss them, and they didn't want you to miss them. And I felt that was actually, there's a competitiveness there, maybe not for that person, because I think they were quite sure about who it is that they were. I think it was more about other people who were very insecure. I felt that led to jealousy, led to envy. But the problem here is that it could all be about, it was all about them a lot of the time. And that takes up a lot of oxygen, you know? This is a mover and a shaker, this person. They did what they saw fit to do. They love to change things up. I get somebody who gets in there and makes changes, and again, it can be very dramatic, you know, like it's not making small changes. It's sort of turning the house upside down, you know. It's turning things inside out with people, with the place that they're living, with the things that they're involved in. It can get messy, but at the same time, there's something very dynamic about it, and that usually leads to very good things. I feel good fortune, good luck with this person. I feel that they're coming from a good place, and a lot of what they're involved with people or projects or work or whatever it is, I kind of feel that they're usually in there trying to make things better. Lots of surprises, though. There's never a dull moment with this particular person. I get a funny person. I get somebody who has a really good sense of humor, but I feel like a lot of the time that sense of humor can actually be at the expense of other people. And that's funny if you're not that person that's actually been made fun of, but if you're the person that's actually on the sharp end of it, it can be quite savage. It goes really close to the bone. Down here with the Strength and the 9 of Pentacles, I felt here that this person is saying, you know, they just couldn't give you all that they need, all that you needed. They're always distracted with other things, you know. Something led them away to do these other things. You know, they were always involved with these, I guess, activities, with these preoccupations in a way that I think they feel like that robbed you. And they want to say sorry about that. And it's nothing that you did. It was just that there was this innate, almost spiritual draw to kind of, you know, pursue the things that they pursued, to be the way that they were. They wish that they had reined it in. They wish that they had tried harder to rein it in for you. That it was too much about them and not enough about you. I think they're saying here that if they had just restrained themselves a little bit more, maybe they'd still be around. Maybe things would be very different. They're trying to communicate with you. They've been trying to communicate with you for some time now. I feel like years have passed by here for some of you, or just that feeling like it's a really long length of time. They've been trying to communicate with you in ways that you may not know or understand. It's really important to look to animals, to sunsets, to the atmosphere, to the natural environment, trees, you know, rivers, oceans, places where there are no other people or where it's tranquil. That's where they're residing to try and speak to you through beauty. They have a lot to say if you're prepared to listen, and they want you to listen. They want you to hear them. Because they have a lot to tell you, and they really want you to let go. They want you to, because I feel here you haven't let go. You haven't let go of them in a way where maybe for some of you you're living in the past, or maybe for others it's more that you just found it very difficult to move forward. And this person is saying, don't hold back for them. Don't hold back with your life. Don't stop is what they want to say. They're saying don't stop. You know, follow your passion. Follow your passion. And this may make sense for some of you. If you follow your passion, the money will follow. But what they're trying to say in a really clear way is that they're around you. You know, this person's a bit of a magic showman. You know, they always were and still are in the ether, a part of a wider experience that is driven by spirit, you know? Yeah, I get an exceptional person in terms of their very dynamic nature. Something extraordinary about them. They had zest for life. and they were engaged in what they did in a way where they gave 100% and they never held back. It's partly why they want you to continue on doing the same, that they don't want you to think of them or to experience the loss of them in a way that stops you from actually being everything that they could possibly want you to be. Look, I hope this reading has made some sense, and if it has, feel free to leave some comments down below. It'd be great to get your feedback. Like and share this video where you can. Hit subscribe and tap on the bell icon. It'll give you notifications for any future readings that I post. If you are interested in the services that I offer as a psychic tarot reader, you can go to www.tonyfoxtarot.com. There's plenty of information about me and what it is that I do as a psychic tarot reader. And thank you very much. Take care. Hey everyone, welcome to card number 2. This is your reading and we're looking at messages from the other side today. So, past loved ones, who is this today? Now, we've got the Devil and the Page of Cups. I felt like this was somebody's sibling, or it could be a close friend, or it might have even been a lover. I felt here that there was somebody with an unquenchable thirst to be the center of attention. This person was desperate to make it all about them. They loved attention in a way where they soaked up the limelight and knew how to play to an audience, to people around them. They were very good at getting attention, very outwardly engaged in a way that was flirtatious, precocious perhaps. I felt like this was somebody who was very young at heart and just never really wanted to grow up. There is an immaturity here for me that was a little bit self-limiting. I don't feel that they tried to be more adult about things at times. I think they could be quite difficult at an emotional level. I get somebody who's quite pouty, who gets the hump a lot, very, very moody. You know, I get a lot of stomping around here. I feel like this person can get angry, can lash out, can be, just like throwing temper tantrums in a way that draws a lot of attention to them. A lot of energy there. I kind of feel like there's a lot of energy within this person. I get a person who plays a lot of different characters to lots of different people. Very changeable in their mood, very changeable in their character. One minute it's all good, the next minute it's all moody and difficult to navigate. I felt a lot of changeability here in a way that there's an unpredictability about who they are as a person. You don't know what you're going to get on any given day, or it can change moment to moment in a way that just feels a little bit difficult to navigate, a bit tricky. I think it's somebody who can be quite controlling as well. I feel like there are a lot of really amazing qualities about this person, because there is an entertainment value in terms of their character. I do feel that when they switch it on in a very positive way, this is somebody who is the center of attention for good reason. They hold a balance of energy and power in a way that draws people together. Life of the party, somebody who's a really good storyteller, somebody who knows how to deliver a line, very, very entertaining, and I feel that can make people feel very comfortable. But on the other hand, I also feel that this is a person that can be a bit manipulative, a little bit controlling. There's something very youthful, very young that comes through here in terms of their appearance. I feel like this is somebody who dressed in a way that was very attractive, that drew your eye in, that drew your attention in. I felt that the way that they looked as a person was maybe quite loud, attention-seeking. They refused to act their age as well. They refused to look their age. I get somebody who doesn't want to grow up. I get somebody who wants to eternally be at a particular age. I felt that this could have been a childhood genius in some ways, you know? I felt like they were very good at something very specific, and that they never really had an opportunity to fully realize that, or yeah, I feel like they were cut short, you know, maybe even cut short of stardom in some way. I mean, what does that mean? I mean, it could have been literal stardom, you know, like I do feel that there is that potential that this person just never fully realized their true potential on that level. Maybe they were limited by opportunities or other people. And I don't feel like they ever really got over that. I feel like they were cut short of something that was never fully realized. I get a very competitive person, somebody who likes to be first. And I feel like this person would be a really bad loser. They'd throw the hump, they'd get pouty, they'd be very, you know, you know, if you were playing, for example, like a game, like a board game, you know, if they lost, they'd turn the game upside down, stomp out of the room. Deep down, I think this person was really warm and gentle. I think they were just very insecure about themselves. I think they were very insecure about the way they looked. And I think also deep down, I feel like this is a very talented person who actually has something really amazing to give to the world, that never saw the light of day, or never saw its fullest potential. And I feel that they were actually probably really insecure about that as well. Maybe they never really felt validated in terms of what they were really good at. There's something quite unique about them, very niche about what it is that they're actually really good at. Maybe a lot of people didn't understand that or fully get what they were really about. And maybe this person just never had enough time on this earth to unravel that, unfold that in a way that helped other people to actually understand more or less what they were really about as a person. Over here to the Fool and the Seven of Pentacles, they did things their own way and didn't want to conform to what everybody else was doing. They were very much set apart from expectations in society, within the group of people that they knew, within their family. I don't feel like this person ever felt that they really fit in, but they really wanted acceptance. And at the same time, they didn't, you know, because they didn't want to be like everybody else. They wanted to be special. This person is very sorry that they didn't give you more consideration. They were too focused on their own needs, too focused on what it was about to be them. And they've had a lot of reflective time about that. They feel that their arrogance was very problematic for you in particular. They could be very dismissive, and they didn't want to listen to what it was that you were actually saying. And they should have listened to you. That's what they're saying. They should have listened to you. This person was consumed by this idea of being the center of attention, and it really got the better of them. They wanted to be loved, and they wanted to be adored. They wanted to be put onto a pedestal, but not for the right reasons. And this person can see that now. They were doing it out of jealousy and selfishness, and I feel here that you really got the worst end of that. That you suffered as a consequence to that, because you were very close to them, and they took a lot away from you as a person. They are really sorry for ignoring you, and they wish they hadn't have done that. I think you always watched over this person in a way where it's almost like you were the polar end. You know, you gave so much to them in a way that was really rock solid. And I think that you saw who they were and where it was that they were going. I think you saw their insecurities. And I think you tried to look after them. And I don't think you probably minded so much that you gave more than you got, but this person sees now that they cut you short, cut you down, cut you out of what it was that you deserved. And they're very sorry about that. I feel down here with the Tower and the Ten of Cups, I feel that when this person passed, that you'd already fallen out, and things were on really bad terms. Things were left in a bit of a mess. Things were undone. Things hadn't been put back together. And you didn't know where you fit. But neither did this person either. I feel that when this person was around, that they were a real thorn inside to your stability. They were constantly undermining you, constantly trying to hijack situations, circumstances that took from you and gave to them in an unfair way. And I don't think it was just you. I feel like they were like this with a lot of people. So family and friends and colleagues. I think this person had a bit of a reputation for being a bit selfish. They found it really difficult to see other people happy. And because you were so close to them, I think you were the closest person to this person. You understood them more than anybody else, but I think seeing you happy was really difficult for them. It made them really jealous. It made them really unhappy, and they felt a destructive streak that would come through in a way that would react to that, and that they would want to take that out on you. And they're very sorry for the spitefulness that they inflicted upon you. They can see that things are a lot easier now for you, now that they're not here. You seem a lot happier. You seem a lot more stable. And things are stabilizing in a way that are as a consequence because of the fact that they're not here. Their influence before was actually quite destructive, and it was undermining, and it was very active in terms of trying to make that happen because there was a lot of spite. They really want you to be happy, and they want you to find family. They want you to find your idea of what family means. They feel that you're in a better place now, and that they promise not to interfere with you ever again in the way that they had done before. They want you to be happy, and what they're trying to say to you today is that they've learnt their lesson, that they're trying to grow up, that they're trying to own what it means to be responsible and to care in a way that isn't selfish, that isn't motivated by some kind of a need to put themselves first. I hope this reading has made some sense, and if it has, feel free to leave some comments down below. It'd be great to get your feedback. Like and share this video where you can, and hit subscribe. Tap on the bell icon. That will give you a notification for any future readings that I post. And if you are interested in the services that I offer as a psychic tarot reader, you can go to www.tonyfoxtarot.com. There's plenty of information about who it is that I am and what it is that I do. Thank you very much, and take care. Hi everyone, welcome to card number 3. This is your reading, and we're looking at messages from past loved ones. So let's jump in and have a look and see who this is. Down here with Temperance and the Queen of Cups. I felt like this was somebody's lover. It could be a husband, a partner, a wife. Somebody who you're in love with. Somebody who loved you back in equal amounts. I feel a deep bond here with this person that is very much in love. It's a shared feeling, it's a mutual feeling, it's a very spiritual experience, in as much as I just kind of felt like you'd found each other and you knew that this was it for the both of you. I felt this person, for many of you, died before their time. I feel like their life was cut short. I felt for many of you that perhaps children have been left behind. There's so much in common here with the two of you. I just feel there are similarities, maybe even in the way you look. I mean, it could be to do with cultural background, your values, the things that you both love, whether it's music, whether it's dancing, whether it's movies, whether it's food. I just feel like it's like you're on the same page with everything. Same political views, same very progressive views. I feel like for the both of you, but this person in particular had very far-reaching, transformative views of what life was about with people and spirituality. I guess somebody who's very caring, very healing, a peacemaker, knew how to bring people together in a way that was fair and just and loving. Didn't like to see conflict, didn't like to see people missing out on life, on opportunity, on what was right. I feel like the two of you are very similar in this way. Like very heartfelt, loving people who want good things for people in a way that is active, in terms of understanding what that means, but also active in giving it. I felt that this person really knew how to put people at ease and was very natural and uninhibited in terms of their personal self. Very free in the way that they gave of themselves, very pure-hearted, and they reached really deeply into people in a way that made a difference, They understood the human experience in a way that was very compassionate, and they could lend a helping hand, or they could give you a shoulder to cry on. The door was always open with this person. They would never push anybody away. If they saw somebody in the street that was struggling, their heart went out to them. Maybe they even put their hand into their pocket and gave something, either of themselves or material, whether it was money or. I just feel like this is a person who would give their shirt off at their own back, I feel like this person bucked the system in many ways. They didn't buy into a material sort of monetarized experience. Quality of life was really important to this person. They really felt that by being a good person and by concentrating on giving of yourself, that was the richness in life, the richness in their experience. It's the thing that turned them on, right? So they weren't driven by selfish aims. Very altruistic is a difficult word to say when you think about it, but a very universal understanding of how life comes together, and it's quite spiritualized. This person loved you deeply. You came first to them. I feel like this was your soulmate. I feel like this was a very conscious understanding between the both of you. Very intuitively connected, very bound to each other in a way that you felt every moment for each other, with each other. You read each other. You knew you could tell what this person was thinking. This person could tell what you were thinking. Very deep shared love here. I feel this is somebody who's traveled. I feel like this is somebody who's been out into the world, and if they haven't done that, they've definitely read about the world, experienced the world through reading, through understanding what life is like beyond a limited experience of being in just one place. An understanding of different cultures, different ways of thinking. I feel international exposure, an exposure to different people's experiences. Coming up here to the moon and the 5 of Pentacles, I feel like this person really struggled with their health. I don't feel like anything could be done for them. It was too far gone. And they just didn't want to drag you through it. I really feel that they felt so much pain for you, even though they were in a lot of pain. Their heart still went out to you and to the people who were really close to them. And they just didn't want to drag you through it. In some ways, I feel this person may have closed down a little bit during this period. They worried about you so much. I feel like they worried a lot about leaving you behind, but it was also about money and security. I think that they just were really concerned about where life is going to take you. And for many of you, because I really do feel this person left before their time, maybe it was about the fact that they didn't feel that they could provide. that there was going to be a long period ahead for you where you'd have to look out for yourself. And this really troubled them, really played on them in a way where, yeah, I think it made the process a lot more difficult for them. They want you to trust your instincts to find security. Your instincts have never let you down, and they're also very worried that you've isolated yourself since this has all happened. Isolated in grief. They want you to get out and to socialize, and that you need to be around other people. You need to be around other people who can fill your cup, because there's a sense here that you're shying away from getting back into life, that you're you're avoiding your own journey in many ways. I think you had a very shared journey. You both give an enormous amount, and I feel like this person is saying that you need to get back out there and give to those who need it. There's work to be done here. Life and people need you. Yeah. Spiritual work is to be done here. Yeah, whatever that interpretation is for you. It doesn't have to be a formal sense of spirituality, but like connecting with people in the right spirit of things, giving of yourself, and becoming proactive and making a difference to people's lives is what this is all about. Don't dwindle life. This will feed your soul, essentially, by getting back out there and re-engaging with people and being a part of a purpose that really helps other people. However that makes sense to you, that's going to help you to heal, and that's also going to help you to fill your cup. You're a person who's very much like this person. If you're not getting your cup filled by another person, things will begin to become more of a struggle. Things will get out of balance for you. Over here to Death and the Ten of Swords, I feel here that this person, I feel like it's very recent that this person passed. And it's not that it's literally recent. I just feel like, in your experience, it feels like it just happened. That they passed a short time ago. Feels like it just happened. And since then, you've felt that life has failed you. And what they're trying to say here is that things are about to change. The dust will begin to clear. There's been a succession of events or problems, or there may have even been further loss for you since this person passed. I feel like it's just been one thing after another, and it's just been almost cataclysmic, like it's really compounded your grief in terms of the loss of this person, because so much else has happened on top of that it's just been a real struggle. It's just been every step of the way, one thing after another. It's just clouded your experience. It's like a cascade effect, but this is about to stop, or it has stopped. It's kind of reached a point where everything became very unstabilized when this person passed. It was cataclysmic. It was a cascade effect. It was like a bomb going off, and only now is the dust just starting to settle, and it's about to link into a new beginning in a way where everything is about to regenerate for you. You'll begin to see much more clearly. Things will become a lot easier. That heaviness will lift. I think even now, like just right now, you're beginning to see the light coming back in. I think it's been such a dark time for you. Such a heavy time for you. They are still here. You'll always have this bond. There's nothing flaky about who it is that you are. You're a really tough nut. I think it would be easy to misinterpret you and maybe this other person as being very sensitive and quite emotional people. Very intuitive. But it doesn't mean that you're flaky. It doesn't mean that you're weak. If anything, I kind of feel like this experience has made you really strong. It's time to get back on your bike is what they're saying. You've got heart work to do. There's love to give. I mean, it's as simple as that. And they're saying that people need you. and that they are there waiting, and that this person is going to work with you and through you to continue on in a way that that will really show you their spirit, show you the closeness that you still have with them, that they haven't gone anywhere, that they're still there, right beside you. I hope this reading has made some sense, and if it has, feel free to leave some comments down below. It'd be great to get your feedback. Like and share this video where you can. Hit subscribe, tap on the bell icon. And if you'd like some more information on who it is that I am as a psychic tarot reader, you can go to www.tonyfoxtarot.com. Plenty of information about who it is that I am and what it is that I do right there. Thank you very much and take care. Bye. Hi everyone, welcome to card number 4. This is your reading and we're looking at messages from past loved ones today. So let's jump in and have a look and see who we have here. The Emperor and the Queen of Cups. I feel like this was somebody's father. Could be also a strong mentor figure or an authority figure in your life that just was somebody who you were very close to and which made an incredible difference to your life. I get a very firm, strong person with a very deep love for you. I feel a closeness here between the two of you that was unrivaled. I feel that you and this person were very in sync with each other. Best friends on one level. But they had boundaries. I mean, like, you know, you knew where you stood with this person. You know, they were a figure of authority, and no was no. There were strong boundaries there, but at the same time, there is a deep, loving trust here, a bond that ties you together in a way where you feel very confident about your place with this person. For me, this is like a best friend, a confidant, somebody who you can turn to in a way where you can tell them absolutely anything without feeling that they would use it against you in any way. There's a really sort of strong trust element in this particular connection. This is somebody who was always there for you. They always made time for you. You were a priority to them. You came first in many ways. I feel that nobody else had the same relationship with them. You know, I felt this could be like a single dad or a single parent, you know, a strong father-like figure. It could also be that this is somebody who compensated for a lack of input by your mother. I feel like they were sort of taking on two roles. I feel like they were father and mother. Maybe they gave where your mother couldn't give, but they were there in a way where they just weren't, they weren't afraid of their femininity. You know, I get a very strong masculine type of person. I get a very strong, almost, you know, at times stern person who really guided you. But at the same time, you know, I felt like this is somebody who could really chill out and relax in a way where they were very emotionally capable of talking about their feelings and talking about how it is that you felt, being there for you in ways that was much more in touch with femininity. They weren't inhibited by any of that. Their boundaries were very important, though. I feel they oversaw whatever you did in a way that wasn't overbearing, but it was very firm. I get somebody who is big on manners. Like, manners are really important. Manners and etiquette, you know, doing things the right way, being civilized and polite were very important to this person. Again, it's just kind of bringing in boundaries that made things a little bit more upright, a little bit more respectable. They had really good standards in terms of what they wanted for you, and their expectations were that you should follow those standards. They didn't like things to get messy. I don't feel like this is somebody who would just let you out of the house run amok in a way that caused trouble. I think that they were very watchful, very concerned to make sure that you were on track to explore your greatest potential. They didn't want you to be influenced by things that would distract you. This person gave a lot of themselves in a way that made a big difference. I think that wasn't just to you. I think that they did that to a lot of people because this is a very kind-hearted person. I think they gave you everything that they possibly could, but without spoiling you. You know, they wanted you to have the best, but they didn't want you to be overindulged. I feel like this was a gentle passing, though. I don't feel pain involved here. You know, I wondered whether this was because they passed in older age, or they passed in a way where there just was a very dignified and gentle crossing over. I feel like you were there right to the end, though. I feel like you were by their side in a way that, and if that wasn't literal, you were by their side within their heart. I just feel that you were really there right to the end, and and your connection with them, the respect that you had for them, the respect that they had for you, and the respect of your relationship together, it was upheld right into the last moments. This is somebody who didn't have any fear around love. You know, they weren't afraid to love you, and they weren't afraid to be loved back. There was an openness about who it is that they really are. I get a gentle giant coming through. You know, I really feel like this is somebody who has gentleness, but has firmness. There's something big about them. You know, maybe they weren't big in size, but maybe they were. But there's something about I guess the authoritativeness, the masculinity, the mentorship. You know, like for me, that kind of feels very big, and it feels very guiding and very, at the same time, very gentle. You know, like for me, it's a gentle giant. Down here to the Fool and the Ten of Pentacles, I feel like this person didn't listen to the rest of the family. I don't feel like they really felt that they ever fit in with them, whether they fit in with their own family in terms of their lineage, or your other parents' family, or maybe even the family at large in terms of your family unit with him or them, yeah? I feel you and this person were a clique of your own, that you both felt like you were outsiders. They didn't like gossip, or small-mindedness. I think that really irritated them. They ignored anybody who tried to tame them, yeah, to restrain them. And there's something quite quirky about their character deep down. I feel like this is somebody who just wanted to follow their own path. There's something a little bit spiritual, you know, a little bit of a bit of a wanderer. You know, somebody who would roam the earth in a way where I think that they were happy to explore what life was all about. I don't think that they wanted to be conformed into something that they didn't want to be. I don't think that they liked a society that made you feel that you couldn't express yourself freely. I think they found it very difficult with family units, in as much as everybody was in their ear about somebody or something in a way that was a bit suffocating. I don't think that they didn't like that. They liked freedom. And they ignored anybody who actually had that kind of outlook. You know, I get a reactionary, to be honest with you. I feel a reactionary towards conservatism or restraint. They don't like small-mindedness, very wary of the values that squash or restrict freedom, and they would shun people that they didn't like without any question. I don't feel that your father or this person was afraid to be themselves. I feel like they could shun people without having to sort of think twice about it, because at the end of the day, they were very sure within themselves about who it was that they were. They weren't afraid of themselves. They didn't run away from anything within themselves. I think they stood up to themselves in a way where they faced what they had to face without hesitation. And I think they found it very difficult if other people didn't do that. They hated hypocrisy. They didn't like people to be two-faced or to have double standards in a way that, because that's not what they were about as a person. I think this is somebody who didn't want you to be influenced by that kind of person or those kinds of thoughts. They wanted the right values to be instilled still with you. I think that was really important to them. And I think also what I get from this person is they really encourage you to be yourself, to explore who it was that you were deep down from a much more heartfelt point of view. They weren't projecting onto you to be what they wanted you to be, or what they expected you to be, other than to have good standards, to have good manners, to be self-respecting, and as a consequence to that, to be respected as a person, to have dignity. If I come up here to the world and the Ace of Cups, I really feel that this person was all about finding fulfillment in the things that made them feel good, and following the flow of life was very much about that. I feel here that this person is saying to you, follow your heart to find your own happiness. Happiness is everywhere. And that's all they've ever really wanted for you, is for you just to feel good about who it is that you are and to be happy. Unless you feel good in yourself, what's the point in doing anything? So do the things that make you tick, do the things that make you feel good. As long as you're not harming anybody else, it doesn't matter. This is not somebody who is about the money. This is not somebody who is driven by the need to feel validated or secure at a sort of financial or material level. I kind of feel there's something very free-spirited about this person. Finding the things that you love to do, being the person that you really are, expressing yourself in an uninhibited way, having really good standards for yourself, that takes you to where you need to be in life, according to them. Finding guidance was also another big thing. I think this person has given you a lot of guidance in their life, but they want you to continue to find guidance. Finding guidance in the signs of life, whether that's through symbols, whether that's through spirit or God or nature, just like, when you see something that makes you feel right, when you see something that makes you feel good. And when I say that, it's about truth. When you identify truth in a sign, in a symbol, follow it. That's what they want you to do. They're saying to be intuitive. I think that's the thing I really like about this person, is that they were very open emotionally, but also very open intuitively. They could tap into how it is that you were thinking and feeling without having to really process that. And intuition is important, and accepting that and integrating that into the person that you are is very much a part of their legacy to you as a person. And I think that they're saying here, give to receive. Give. What goes around comes around. What makes the world go around is what you put into it. So be genuine, be authentic. Don't try to be something that you're not. That's everything that they never wanted to be. Why would you want to be something that other people want you to be? Yeah. You do you. Don't be afraid to love. Don't be afraid to give. It's really at the heart and core of who it is that this person really is as an individual. I get somebody who loved you so much, are still there very much in spirit. It's, they're looking over you. I think that their role has always been that, is to guide you, to bring out the best of you as a person. And I feel here for you, you need to follow in their footsteps in many ways. Not to be them, but just to take a lot of what it is that they've given you in a way where you actually put it into action. I hope this reading has made some sense, and if it has, feel free to leave some comments down below. It'd be great to get your feedback. Like and share this video where you can. Hit subscribe, tap on the bell icon. That'll give you notifications for any future readings that I post. And if you are interested in the services that I offer as a psychic tarot reader, you can go to www.tonyfoxtarot.com. There's plenty of information about who it is that I am and what it is that I do. Thanks very much and take care.